And often extremes of human cruelty are just dismissed as evil. But I start that book with a personal anecdote, which is that when I was 7 years old, my father told me about the Holocaust. You know, I come from a Jewish family, and for many people, the cruelty of the Holocaust is kind of one of the big questions about how could human beings treat one another with such extreme cruelty. You know, and I got, you know, so this has been a lifelong question for me about cruelty. And often extremes of human cruelty are just dismissed as evil. I say dismissed because, you know, what you often hear in a court of law, a criminal court, is the defendant is evil. That's why he or she committed these acts of cruelty. Whereas for a scientist, I don't feel the word evil really explains what's happened. How was the person able to do that? Whereas I think looking at the idea of empathy and the idea that we may either be born with different levels of empathy, so for genetic and neurological reasons, or we may lose our empathy, perhaps because of social factors, ideological factors. You know, so I guess that's one answer to your question, is that I thought that if we take the idea of empathy and individual differences in empathy, that might give us more explanatory power into the question of why do some people behave with cruelty and others behave with kindness.